Good afternoon, this is your 12:30 news roundup with me, Matt Astbury. The Egyptian embassy has urged police to act quickly in bringing to justice those responsible for the death of an 18-year-old girl outside Nottingham Victoria Centre. Egyptian Mariam Mustafa was attacked about a month ago and died on Wednesday. Her family claims she has been attacked before. A 17-year-old has been arrested on suspicion of assault. A student says he has been left victimised after he was removed from a nightclub for wearing a turban. Amrit Singh, who studies at Nottingham Trent University, was told that Rush Lake Bar in Mansfield had a no headwear policy. He recorded the incident on his mobile phone. In the recording, Mr Singh is heard explaining the religious significance of his headwear. The bouncer responds by asking, "I didn't think you were allowed to drink anyway." Here is Amrit discussing the incident with our reporter James McCarthy.
We went to this place called the Rush Lake Bar, and whilst at the bar I got allowed entry, went straight in upstairs, paid admittance fee, and then around about half an hour later I had one of the security guards come along and just tap me on the shoulder and say take it off. I was wearing a jacket at the time, so I thought he was referring to my jacket. It was a big coat, and I started taking my jacket off and he started saying, "No, it's the thing on your head."
Mental scarring from wartime memories of ex-service veterans could worsen if they become too lonely. Nottinghamshire County Council set up new social groups for older veterans to reduce this loneliness and help improve their health and well-being. The pilot scheme brings older veterans together to make friends with people who have had similar experiences. The council hopes it will help the veterans become more active in their community.
There's a lot of hidden wounds out there. A lot of the more elderly people who are now becoming lonely because the partners have passed away, and if we're not careful they'll start becoming a real problem for society. So this is about addressing that.
A skateboarding initiative based in Nottingham has won £10,000 from the National Lottery Fund. Skate Nottingham aims to increase the young skating community by providing free coaching courses around the city. They say the money will now go towards investing in new equipment and the improvement of local skate parks. Flow Skate Park in Centon want the funding to help people from all ages and genders to take part in the sport.
The thing about Skate Nottingham is it's about increasing participation in skateboarding for all ages and all genders. And what we're seeing here at Flow is a massive increase in not only skateboarding, but women and girls getting into skateboarding as well. Perhaps women and girls who are sort of never even sort of been interested that much in sports before, or have kind of been put off sport at school, or they're not particularly interested in team sports. It seems to suit this sort of individual aspect of perhaps their character.
Taxi drivers in Nottingham may face big bills if the council approves plans to change the colour and type of vehicles they use. The council wants drivers to use vehicles that produce fewer emissions. They also want taxis to be painted black and white rather than the dark green colour currently specified for Hackney carriages.
For a greener environment, so they are imposing us to, pushing this forward so we can get the hybrid cars and the low emission cars. But I think it's not a good decision at this time. It's the new cars, they're really expensive as well. It cost us 55 to 60 grand.
This week marks 2 years since Zach Borskett, a former student from Nottingham, passed away from an aggressive form of leukaemia and a germ cell tumour in his chest. To raise money for the #BackZach campaign, a netball match against Nottingham Trent University and the police took place, raising over £1,500. Zach's dad highlights how this money raised will help support young adults suffering with cancer and those having to go through chemotherapy.
Well, this week, just a few days ago, we actually sent £600 worth of gift cards to Nottingham City Hospital, which is where Zach was, and also £500 worth of food vouchers. So they go to in and out patients that don't get food because they're not actually an inpatient, but sometimes, like Zach was, if you're in hospital for 9 weeks you get very bored of hospital food, so it's just going to a different outlet to get something different to eat.
The winter days are over and spring has finally sprung here in Nottingham, and what better way to mark it than to celebrate the birth of new life. White Post Farm will be making their animals the stars of the show by holding a 24-hour live stream right in the heart of their silver barn. The stream will be hosted by the farmers and will involve activities and information on all of the farm's animals, and hopefully some live births from their 40 pregnant sheep.
Spring is just on the way, and there's no better sign of spring than the lambing season. We think it lifts everyone's spirits. There's nothing cuter than seeing lambs being born and being mothered straight away by their mums. They're beautiful, they're cute, they're friendly. The bunch of ewes we've got in our maternity ward are particularly friendly this month. It's a real change. It breaks away from winter time, and we can look forward to the exciting seasons ahead.
And now for the sport. Nottingham Forest are back in action tomorrow when they travel to Bramwell Lane to face Sheffield United in the Championship. And in League 2, Notts County host Mansfield in a huge local derby at Meadow Lane. And now for the weather. It'll be mostly cloudy with showery rain today with highs of 11 degrees. The rain should clear later this afternoon to leave sunny spells, but there is the chance of the odd shower. Tonight will turn windy and cold, and rain is expected this evening, potentially turning to snow in the early hours. That's all for now. Join us at 4 o'clock for your next news update. Goodbye.